Sai Ram. Welcome back to the third edition of your third chapter, Inclusive Strategy, from your Sociology PU2 book. In today's chapter, we are going to discuss the role of non-government organizations in the upliftment of scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. But before we go on with the present chapter, as we always do, let us go back to the past one with some questions and let us see how many can you answer. What was the National Commission set for? This was from the last chapter. National Commission was set up by the central government for the upliftment of SC/ST. SC and ST, they were bifurcated and made into a separate commission later on, which was on 19th February 2004, according to article 338A. This is an extra information thanks to Wikipedia. Next question was, what steps were taken to provide the educational opportunities to the SCs and STs? So, what were the educational opportunities? Free education was provided, free distribution of books, stationery, uniform, scholarships, educational loans, midday meals, free boarding, lodging, and reserving the seats for SC/ST at all government and government aided institutions. Next question, what provisions were made to extend the employment opportunities to the SC and STs? So, the constitution provided reservations in services. For SCs, it was 15% reservation, and for ST, it was 7.5% reservation. And they were given faster promotion in the sense they do not have to wait for all those years which the general category has to wait. So, the relaxation was given in age limit, standards of suitability, qualification and experience. Fourth question, what was the 5-year plan set exclusively to uplift scheduled caste? The central government sponsored a comprehensive 3 strategies program for the development of SCs during 6th 5-year plan 1980 to 85, and I hope you remember what were those 3 plans. They were SCP, that is Special Component Plan, SCA, which was Special Central Assistance, SCDC, which was Scheduled Caste Development Corporation. Okay, the next one is, give one role each of Gandhiji and Ambedkar in eradication of untouchability. So, Gandhiji preached against untouchability by setting a model by his own words and deed. He called them Harijans, engaged them for religious activities which was not allowed to them earlier, taught them cleanliness by himself cleaning their toilets and streets. And then B.R. Ambedkar, he was the architect of Indian Constitution. He legalized the upliftment of untouchables by including various articles in the Constitution prohibiting the practice of untouchability and protecting their civil rights. Okay, having given you these answers, please remember these are only the indicators. You have to go through your book for proper answers. So, what are we going to study today? We will be studying about an NGO. What is an NGO? Role of an NGO in the upliftment of SCs and STs, and contribution of an NGO, where we are going to take this particular NGO, Sulabh International. So, what is an NGO? NGO stands for non-government organization. These organizations are independent of government involvement. That means they are autonomous bodies and government is not controlling them. But they do have to follow certain rules. They do have to get themselves registered under the Societies Registration Act of 1860. After complying all the provisions related for its formation, and rules for formation of NGOs are different from state to state. So, they are not government organizations, still they have to follow certain rules laid by the Constitution. Then only they can call themselves an NGO and they have to get it registered. They are basically formed by the citizens, and they are the motive behind is for some cause related to the society, upliftment of society. So, many people or some people get together and can form an NGO. They are not based on profit making. Their main idea is to work for the upliftment of the society. So, the role of NGOs in the upliftment of SCs and STs, here they have given you certain names, some examples of some NGOs. So, please go through these names, they are given in your book. There are 11 NGOs which are given to you. So, you can just go through them. Here today we are going to talk about one NGO, which is Sulabh International. It is so talked about that I am sure you must have heard about it. What is it famous for? That also you might have heard about. So, please smile, you are in Sulabh. So, what is Sulabh? It is basically what we have seen Sulabh International as having provided many toilets, public toilets, good quality public toilets for the poor class and for anybody, for the society, which was a great need. Look at these pictures here. This is the person behind the Sulabh International. So, his name is Dr. Bindeshwari Pathak. He basically was a sociologist. So, let us see and look at the, this is the model of the Sulabh Shauchalay. Shauchalay means toilet. So, these are basically the dry latrines, and how do they work and how do they make use of it, of everything, the human waste into energy, into fuel and other things that we will see later. But it was a very exemplary mission that this person started. So, some more thing about this person, Dr. Bindeshwar Pathak. So, he founded Sulabh in 1970, and he is an Indian sociologist, as we already told you, from Rampur, Bihar. He is the founder of Sulabh International, and as a part of his PhD research, he stayed with the scavengers families. So, what is a scavenger family? What is the job of a scavenger? Scavengers are basically those people who are clearing the dirt and the filth, and these are the people who were clearing the human excreta manually. So, you can imagine their plight. So, manual scavenging is removal of human excrement from public toilets, dry latrines, cleaning septic tanks, gutters and sewers. Many scavengers die while cleaning septic tanks and sewers, because they have to go deep into they are very deep pits, and they have to go inside and clean it. So, and sometimes there is water also inside. So, there are many cases where the scavengers go inside and they do not come up, they die there. So, it is a very risky thing to do. So, this Dr. Bindeshwar Pathak, he understood their plight, and he found the work inhuman. So, clearing human excreta, it was something he found it to be very inhuman. So, he resolved to work for them. So, he moved from all around India to find out their plight and what he could do for them. So, Sulabh International was a result of all his efforts, is an India based social service organization. What does it basically work to promote? It works to promote first rehabilitation of manual scavengers. So, you can already understand their condition. They were very poor people, and they were generally of low caste people. So, these people were his focus. So, how to rehabilitate them, work for their human rights, the kind of work that they were doing, to think about their rights also, their civil rights also, and to provide them with other opportunities in life. Then environmental sanitation, which was a big concern for this NGO, because how the human excreta can be recycled for better purposes, and the environment can be sanitized. Non-conventional sources of energy. So, this is how they are recycling the human excreta to make it a source of energy, and it turns into biogas. That very important contribution of this particular organization. Waste management. and social reform through education. So, this particular NGO has come up with various schools to promote high quality education. So, and the organization counts 50,000 volunteers. So many volunteers are there to work for this organization, and it is the largest non-government organization in India. So, this is the brief contribution of this organization. Here we are talking about innovations include a scavenging free 2-pit flush toilet. Remember the picture we showed you, which is called Sulabh Shauchalaya. Safe and hygienic human waste disposal technology to have the environment cleaned. So, the human waste will be disposed properly through a technology where it can be converted into energy. A new concept of maintenance and construction of pay and use public toilets. This is very, very important, and this has really worked well for the public, popularly known as Sulabh complexes. You must have seen those complexes. They are very nicely done and made up, and you have to pay a bit, but it is frequently cleaned, and they have the bath, laundry and urinal facilities also. So, on the way somewhere, if somebody gets a nature's call, they can definitely use these facility. It is used by 10 million people every day, and it generates biogas and biofertilizers produced from excreta based plants. Plants meaning those units where this kind of exchange of energy is taking place, and low maintenance wastewater treatment. So, water is being saved here through this technology, and plants of medium capacity for institutions and industries. So, this particular gas or energy is transported to, given to various institutions and energies. It is a low cost energy and low maintenance energy. So, recycling human excreta for biogas generation, they developed a very efficient design of biogas plant that has been approved by the Ministry of Non-Conventional Energy Resources, non-conventional energy sources, and the leftover biogas plant they can be used as a manure or can be safely discharged in any river or water body without causing any environmental pollution. And how electricity is generated? So, human excreta flows directly in the plant without having to touch it, and after some processing or procedure, the biogas is produced. So, 1 cubic foot biogas is produced by one person's excreta per day. So, you can see how a great amount of quantity of biogas can be generated. So, biogas is utilized for cooking, lighting lamps, electricity generators, and for warmth during winters, and cooking is the most efficient use of these biogas. Other than this energy generation, they have also set up a public school in New Delhi and also a network of centers all over the country to train boys and girls from poor families, especially scavengers. So, see what a good work they are doing. They are involving these low caste people who were not into the proper educational system, they are involving them into a high quality system of education. So, they can also compete in the open job market. So, through their efforts, the United Nations Center of Human Settlements has praised Sulabh's sanitation system as a global urban best practice. So, this is the acknowledgement given to them at the Habitat 2 conference held at Istanbul, which is in Turkey, in June 1996. And look at some other felicitations, that means acknowledgements and rewards that were given to this particular organization. The Economic and Social Council of United Nations granted special consultative status to Sulabh in recognition of its work. So, you can see consultative, other organizations can consult them to construct the similar kind of facility. And Sulabh claims their plan on human waste disposal and social reforms has provided jobs directly to 35,000 people and made 240 towns scavenging free. So, what a great achievement by this organization. And Sulabh has established coordination with various national and international agencies, including British Council and BORDA, it is a German organization. So, Sulabh is taking and giving technology, there is an exchange of technology with these organizations, technology and information, European Union, etc. Sulabh was commended for bringing sanitation to the poor in India. So, this was the very big contribution by this Sulabh. In October 2007, Sulabh announced the design of a cheap toilet system that recycles human waste into biogas and fertilizer. Bindeshwar Pathak has been conferred with the 2009 Stockholm Water Prize for his contribution towards this work. So, this particular prize is given for the activities related to water, and you can see that how much water is being saved by creating those dry latrines. In Sulabh International's premises in Delhi, the company runs a museum dedicated to the history of sanitation and toilets. So, you must have seen many museums, but here there is a unique museum in Delhi. It is only about the kind of toilets. So, okay. So, this was the end of this part, and here we are again with some questions for you. So, what is an NGO? Name any two NGOs working for the SEs. Name the founder of Sulabh International. Very simple. And the third question is, what is the biggest contribution of Sulabh International? So, please read your chapter well and find out the answers to these questions till we meet you again. Sai Ram.